New on Curiosity Stream. She was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
Oh, fiddlesticks!
What, Wilbur?
We just got hit and I think my back is all been out of shape.
You gotta talk with those whippersnappers at the Advocates Law Firm. They're the best injury lawyers around.
What?
Pipe down, Clarence! Abner's telling me about the lawyers and the advocates. So what happened to you, Abner?
I was walking across the street with the light when some young punk came screeching around the corner. I lost a toe.
What?
Shut it, Clarence! If you get injured, the advocates get results.
AdvocatesLaw.com.
What's up? It's your boy, the Ted Smith. Thanks for listening to the Men's Room Daily Podcast. Want more? Check out the greatest podcast in all the land, The Podcast. Be sure to subscribe and listen to a brand new episode every Tuesday night.
Somebody out there deserves to be recognized. And the Men's Room knows just who it is. So to you we say, bottoms up, sailor. You're the toast of our shot of the day.
Drink time it is, and as usual, we head to the drink desk and Steve Throwhill to find out who we're toasting.
Yes, indeed. Somebody here real quick. They say, run your finger behind the top part of your ear and smell it. If it's cheesy, you ain't washing good enough. Now, I would add to that, if any part of your body smells cheesy, wash it.
Doesn't smell like cheese.
Just say, if any part of me smells like cheese, like this is not a good thing. All right, today we toast the Minnesota Department of Transportation. I believe our very Mike Hawk has more on this later, but like many institutions around this country, MDOT asked for the public's help naming its vehicles, right? Hence we got Bodie McBoatface, et cetera, et cetera. Well, in this case, they asked for suggestions for their snowplows. And naturally, the public obliged, and we actually have the 8 winning names. So what they did, they didn't need one name. They needed 8 names because each one of these covers a different jurisdiction in the city.
Okay.
All right, so depending where you live, you will get one of these 8 plows as named by the people of Minnesota. I think they did a pretty good job. Edward Blizzard Hands.
All right.
Okay. All right. If you're an Alice Cooper fan, you'll appreciate No More Mr. Ice Guy. Aha!
No more Mr. Ice Guy.
Blizzard of Oz.
Nice.
This is one of my favorites. Scoop Dog. Plowsaurus Rex. The Big Leplowski.
Yeah.
This one is my personal favorite. Control Salt Delete. But the big winner, with over 40,000 votes, it honors a Hollywood legend who passed earlier this year, Betty Whiteout.
Betty Whiteout.
Betty Whiteout. Sweet.
Why do snowplows need names?
Because it gets the public involved, Ted.
They shouldn't be.
And no, I agree. And the Department of Transportation, they can do all the happy, good things they need to do for people to forgive everything else they mess up.
Yeah, I mean, the most important thing about plows is stay out of their way and don't tailgate them.
Yeah, don't tailgate them.
Seriously.
And don't dress in religious garb. So we pour this booze and we drink this booze because we think it's yummy.
Yummy.
So over the tongue and down the throat to party in our tummies. Down the hola bichona.
The Men's Room presents Profile This.
And Steve Throwhill, can you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
Sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story. Something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes a story a story. Hello, Conrad. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
Hola. All right, Conrad, you understand how this here game is played?
Yes, sir.
All right, you have your choice of one of 3 stories. The Wonderful World of Drugs. We have Bite Me. In other words, what did someone find in their food? And finally, Interior Decorating, where you guess the foreign objects that ended up on the inside of someone.
Let's do Interior Decorating.
You sing like an angel, my friend. All right, here is your story. We go to Swindon, United Kingdom, where police there said they found 7.2 grams of cocaine stuffed into a 24-year-old man's body. It all began when police were called to a furniture store after getting calls of a man shouting and disturbing customers in the parking lot. When officers arrived, Mr. Joshua Hare was naked, put up a struggle before he was finally taken into custody and then taken to a hospital. Now, while in custody, a baggie containing a white powder began to, quote, emerge from his body. By his attorney, whose name, I'm not making this up, is Nick Redhead. He told the court that his client, he's homeless, he's had troubled background, he has substance abuse problems, possible mental health issues, suffered kidney issues. All of this he was hoping would get a little leniency from the judge, and I dare say it did, because the guy basically was slapped with a $151 fee. Think about that. And he has a 12-week suspended sentence, again, for having cocaine in his person. Now, the question is simply this. Where on his body was he hiding the baggie of 7.2 grams of cocaine? Was it his rectum, his belly button, his foreskin, or his fat rolls?
Did you say it was 7 pounds?
7.2 grams.
Grams.
Of cocaine.
Little
cocaine, yes.
Turtle head poking out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want it to be rectum.
Rectum for Conrad.
Rectum.
Almost killed him. Ted?
But I don't think 7 grams of cocaine would be that large amount of something.
I don't think it. I don't know my grams, man. You know that. Just
I've seen it.
By denomination.
Right, but like I've seen an 8-ball before. And
sure. How many grams is an 8-ball?
I believe it's 3.5.
Ted, straight up, I'm going rumple foreskin.
Go foreskin?
Mm-hmm. You know what? I'm sticking with my gut. Going belly button.
Belly button for Ted. We each got one.
I just want something to be in the belly button this
Ted,
week.
you're sticking with the belly button. Conrad, you still on that rectum?
Final answer.
Okay, I'm going to go rumple. We're going to find out where this bag was. Was it his rectum, his belly button, his foreskin, or his fat rolls next?
Uh-oh. Damn it. Oh, boy.
Oh, that was terrible.
I'm done.
New on Curiosity Stream, he allows them their riches
Putin has to be the richest of the rich.
in exchange for their loyalty.
The oligarchs have supported someone for president that they underestimate.
The illicit affair between Russia's elite and the man who rules them on Putin and the oligarchs. And World War II Normandy. An obscure battle training session takes a tragic turn. Uncover the one secret military catastrophe on the secret D-Day disaster. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit CuriosityStream.com.
Oh, drat. I was driving along minding my own business when that vulgar leech hit my Beamer with his pickup truck. I fear I've fractured my clavicle.
I say, old boy, don't simply put it in the hands of your insurance company to sort it out. Talk with the dedicated row of solicitors at the Advocates Law Firm.
Pipe down, you old sod. The advocates will see your case through to the bitter end and won't sleep a fortnight until they have victory in their grasp.
Jolly good, old man. Jolly good indeed. You get injured, the advocates get results. AdvocatesLaw.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
99.9 KISW. The shenanigans continue. This is the Men's Room with Miles and Thrill.
Categories: interior decorating on profile. This police in the UK found cocaine stuffed in a man's body. He was naked when he was arrested, and the baggie kind of just popped out while he was being arrested. Question is, where did that baggie pop out from? Was it his rectum, his belly button, his foreskin, or his fat rolls?
And Conrad, that is the very question that we posed to you. You went with rectum. Oh, I'm afraid it wasn't just right. The old tried and true leather Cheerio, as it were. B. Ted Smith, you went with belly button.
I did.
I'm sorry. No belly button for you this week. Miles, you went with foreskin.
I did.
You did.
Yes!
And you are correct.
Yes! Yeah.
I guarantee you at that point, you go, those drugs are for personal use only.
You think?
Oh, it's cocaine. It always is.
Yeah, right. That's good.
No matter where you keep it.
Yeah. I feel like if it's midnight, you're at one of those parties. Like, look, you can have it for free,
but it was in his foreskin.
So in my foreskin.
Just give it to me.
God.
Now for all TV news all time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box,
Armageddon.
The Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
All right, your choices. The Jimmies.
Kimmel Fallon.
Seth Meyers.
Okay.
Ted Smith.
Is it Ted or is it late night?
It is right there. The title. All these guys have teams of talented writers who help them come up with their monologues each and every night. It is up to you to determine, is this an actual late night joke and from whom, or could it be a The Ted Smith original?
The Washington football team announced that it officially changed its name to the Washington Commanders, as in Rams 37, Commanders 3.
The Ted Smith.
Jesus. Seth Meyers.
Seth Meyers.
The Washington football team announced that it officially changed its name to the Washington Commanders, as in Rams 37, Commanders 3.
The commies. The commodes. I've read a lot about them.
Yeah, I said to Mike, like, at the end of the day, in a couple years, it'll just be the team name. It won't be that big of a difference. I know. Commanders kind of sounds like an action movie where Dolph Lundgren and Sylvester Stallone join forces to defend their assisted living facility.
Fallon.
Yeah, Fallon.
Gibble.
Commanders sounds kind of like an action movie where Dolph Lundgren and Sylvester Stallone join forces to defend their assisted living facility, right?
NASA just announced it'll retire the International Space Station in 2013 by crashing it into a remote part of the Pacific Ocean. The plan was put together by the new head of NASA, Vin Diesel.
The Ted Smith.
Yeah.
Fallon.
NASA just announced that it will retire the International Space Station in 2031 by crashing it into a remote part of the Pacific Ocean. The plan was put together by the new head of NASA, Vin Diesel.
Space Force.
While in past Olympics have used some fake snow, this year's Winter Olympics will be the first ones using only fake snow. It's fine to use fake snow. He will never notice it's fake, said one skier's wife.
The Ted Smith.
Yes.
Yeah.
Finally got one, goddammit.
Mm-hmm. Malls across the country have been filling empty retail space with surgery centers, which explains the store I saw the other day called Apodectomy and Fitch.
Seth Meyers.
Valid.
Malls across the country have been filling empty retail spaces with surgery centers. That explains the story I saw the other day called Apodectomy and Fitch.
Tesla has issued a recall for more than 50,000 vehicles to disable a feature which prevents them from rolling through stop signs without coming to a full halt, or as Tesla calls it, Mercedes mode.
Seth Meyers.
Tesla has issued a recall for more than 50,000 vehicles to disable a feature which prevents them from rolling through stop signs without coming to a full halt, or as Tesla calls it, Mercedes mode.
Tesla drivers are getting up there. I just keep track of how many people almost hit me when walking to work, and I'm walking with crosswalks.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Teslas are popping up there though.
Subaru, number one for me.
Really?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Maybe it's neighborhoods. I never have an issue with Subarus.
Anytime I have an issue with anybody on the road, typically a Subaru.
Yeah, I don't know.
I pay attention because once I notice it, I was like, oh my God. Here we go again.
What do you consider having a problem on the road? You're a pretty aggressive driver.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Subarus do the speed limit.
Yeah. They do.
That's his problem.
That's the problem.
That is a problem.
All right, let's see. So the Beijing Winter Olympics, they're starting
today, isn't it?
Yeah, because they started because they're kicking off.
This is ceremony stuff, right?
It's the ceremony, but with the time change, I think it might be on like right now.
Oh, okay. Right.
Yeah. Let's see. So I got 10 interesting facts about these games. First off, the estimated budget of Beijing Winter Olympics, $3.9 billion.
God damn.
But it's a lot less, way less than the 2014 games in Sochi, which cost an estimated $50 billion.
50?
50.
Oh my God, man.
Yeah.
It's funny, a lot of cities don't even throw their head. It used to be a prestigious thing, and it still is, but the cost has gone up so much. A lot of cities say, we're not getting involved in this. It's just so much money.
What's crazy is projected ad revenue is $600 million.
So how do you make money if you're telling me, look, you're going to spend what, $3 billion? I'll say
$3.9 billion.
3.9.
And there's no fans.
And so even with your advertising revenue, if I get to keep 100%, you have spent $3.3 billion. So I don't know. I don't know how you make up that difference, man.
Well, and nowadays too, like that was the big deal in Brazil when they had the Summer Olympics a few years ago. Was that like they just built stadiums that nobody even uses?
Right.
So if you build stadiums and people use them, that's one thing, right? Like when they had them in Atlanta, right?
Everything
then the baseball
right. That's exactly it.
Right. I mean,
there's an eye to the future. Where
Los Angeles has that. Indianapolis
has that. You have the Coliseum.
Even if it became a youth thing. Mm-hmm. So they said, like these swimming centers, if you're doing the Summer Olympics, these swimming centers and all this stuff. When the Olympics moved out, it became a municipal place, and we have the best pool in the city.
Sure.
Brazil, I know they started plotting stuff down in different areas, but you're right. Like, if you're not going to get a use out of it beyond the 17 days you do the Olympics, it's not worth the money, man.
Yeah. When did Indianapolis have the Olympics?
They just have a training center there.
Oh.
So they did a Summer Olympic training center. So they have all this stuff, but they just incorporated it in the community.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, right, the LA Coliseum still gets used. I mean, heck, the LA Coliseum, they're having a dang NASCAR race in there. Right? And then it was a couple years ago, they played a baseball game in there.
Right. It still serves a purpose, and it has a storied history in the States. A lot of the dorms that they use for the athletes.
Well, SC plays at the Coliseum.
And a lot of cities, when the athletes leave, it becomes a residential thing.
Right.
Right. Like you kind of plan ahead. You understand the Olympics don't last forever. So, yeah, the Brazil thing, I don't get it, man.
Yeah. Let's see. The U.S. team is setting a Winter Olympics record because they'll have 223 athletes. It's the most ever for a Winter Olympics team.
So many.
It is.
For any team or just the U.S. team?
That's a Winter Olympics record.
For all countries.
Everybody.
Yeah. Right. So it's funny sometimes because when you see the medal count and it's like, it's Russia, China, and the United States. It's like, well, they have the three biggest teams also. They have people and everything.
What's the country that has one dude? India. That's what's rating there. So there's one guy from India. Right. He's the entire Winter Olympic team for India. I think
got to root for that guy then.
Yeah, he's a skier.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And there's some sports. It's weird given the Olympics, right? Like you don't hear a ton about Norway. In like the Summer Olympics.
Right. Oh.
But you get into that skiing and shooting stuff, the Nordic stuff.
They dominate.
Oh, my God. They crush people. Like the Americans basically are already out of it. They don't really have a chance.
Well, because no one would think of that as a sport.
Like biathlon.
It's like,
the biathlon. That's the one really.
Right. That's like Norway and Sweden. They dominate that, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really, on cross-country skis with the rifle.
Like Finland, Sweden,
exactly.
Switzerland,
places
Austria.
where they do that.
Yeah, places where you hunt like that.
Right.
Which I don't ski. I don't own a rifle, but every time I see that sport, I'm like, I got to go skiing and shoot something, which would be hard to find a spot.
That'd be great at Stevens Pass. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was going to say, right.
You guys don't mind, do you?
Yeah, exactly.
Which side of the mountain can I shoot my rifle?
What do you want, the older kid or younger kid?
We're practicing for the Olympics.
I'll take the hat right off his head.
Let's see.
I got the whole head. My bad. That's why I'm practicing.
Uh-oh.
I don't think they use real bullets anymore.
I don't think so.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's been 14 years since China hosted the Olympics. The 2008 Summer Olympics were in Beijing. Beijing is now the first city to host both Summer and Winter Olympics.
Huh, okay.
And you might say, how does that work?
How does that work, Ted?
Well, I could tell you, Thrill. The games will take place across 25 different venues in Beijing and a neighboring city. Basically, 5 venues will be reused from the summer games years ago, and then the other place that they're going to do some of the winter stuff or colder stuff is 3 hours away from Beijing by car, which doesn't seem that close. But it's China. They got crazy trains.
Oh, right.
Oh, yeah.
45-minute ride on the Intercity Railway, which is the world's first driverless high-speed railway.
Okay. All right. So
I mean, that'd be... I'm obsessed with high-speed trains. I just think that'd be so cool. Right? You know what I mean? Like, I'm trying to think, what's 3 hours from here? And they're like, you can either drive there in 3 hours or you can get on a 45-minute train. Like, well, I'm going to take the train.
Taking the train.
Yeah.
Did you ever get on the PRT when you went to Morgantown?
I've never actually stepped foot in Morgantown.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That was always crazy to me. Like, you get on this car and there's nobody driving it. You know what I mean? You press a button and it just comes, and then it takes you to the next, like little neighborhood you want to go to. Great for drinking, by the way.
That's gotta be.
It was awesome. Let's go to Crockett's, get on the PRT. Boom, you're on. 5 minutes later, you're there.
I said that to last night somebody we were leaving. Got a nice place. And they were like, you never been here? I go, nah. You should catch me at a bar with an S on the end of it. So I'm like, Crockett, sounds like my kind of speed.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chicken wings.
I was saying, small, crispy wings.
Most wonderful bird in the world.
You know what? I'm back on your side.
Yeah.
Let's see. The mascot for the games is Bing Dwen.
I'm sure this is some kind of anime character that's popular.
It's a panda.
Oh,
of course.
I think that's pretty cool. Now, granted, I'm spoiled. I grew up in D.C., so I'm used to pandas. See them all the time. Used to see them all the time as a kid. Mm-hmm. I will say, when you're a kid, you don't fathom that other zoos don't have pandas, and it's like how big of a deal it is.
Oh yeah, it's huge.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah,
actually, when we went to D.C. this past summer, the panda, like their habitat was under reconstruction or something.
All right,
so the kids could not see the pandas.
Oh, that sucks.
You would think that we just gave them like a horrible medical diagnosis. I mean, it was just like, guys, like we're on the subway over there. And I go, what do you want me to do? They're rebuilding where these guys are, so we can't go to where they are. But my daughter's like, but I want to see pandas because you can't see pandas anywhere. So I distracted her with some panda knowledge, which is fully this. Did you know that every panda in the world technically is owned by China? Really? Yeah, even if they're at the zoo. Believe it or not, it's owned by China. That distracted her long enough for the tears to go away.
I remember when they got rid of the polar bear. I was crushed as a kid. Now, as an adult, I realize having a polar bear in D.C. in the summer is just torture for that
bad idea.
Yeah.
It was at the polar bear's request, yes.
Yeah. And and it's so weird, right? As a kid, I was like, it is so cool seeing that polar bear. But I only ever remember him just sitting there looking miserable.
Yeah.
Right? But as a kid, you don't fathom that. But
no.
You're just like, Jesus, yeah, why were we just staring at a bear in pain? Let's see. 91 countries will participate across at a record 109 events in 15 sports. Here's the 7 new events.
Right.
Women's monobob.
Of course it is.
Solo bobsledding.
Okay.
All right.
Not as excited.
Big air skiing.
Big air.
Yeah. Mixed team snowboard cross. Snowboard cross is pretty cool. It's like they race down.
All right.
And they're like taking banks and stuff.
Oh, so they're racing though. All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Mixed team aerials and freestyle skiing. That's pretty cool. Mixed team relay and short track speed skating. I do believe they hand off a baton.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then mixed team ski jumping.
Sounds like they took a lot from the X Games.
They actually, the Winter Olympics has taken a ton. And even the Summer Olympics, there's like skateboarding now.
Because
and
people
it's wild.
watch the X Games.
Right, and the pendulum is clearly shifted, right? Like, snowboarders were doing all the crazy stuff. The craziest stuff happens on skis now.
Sure. It's almost like what happened with the boxing and UFC. It's like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a big shift.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Ted. We appreciate it. You are listening to The Men's Room.
New on Curiosity Stream, she was a loving wife, a devoted mother. She also stole atomic secrets and gave them to the Soviets. Meet the woman whose deception kick-started the Cold War on the spy who stole the atom bomb. And
what if they catch you?
Then I shall be shot.
They're coming! Come back!
relive history's most death-defying escapes. It's Impossible Escapes, Civil War. Watch now on Curiosity Stream. Annual plans are $20, just $1.67 a month. Visit curiositystream.com.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. As we continue to listen, learn, and grow, we are amplifying Black voices and perspectives in an effort to start a new COVID-19 vaccine conversation. We're sharing stories intended to help us navigate this unprecedented time together and to co-create solutions in support of the Black community. Hear these stories at weconsiderwa.org.
$20 million, $19 million, $6 million. These are all awards recovered for clients of Phillips Law Firm. To win big, you have to fight big. And Phillips Law has been fighting the too-big-to-fail insurance industry for decades. Not every case will have a multi-million-dollar outcome, but Phillips Law will fight just as hard to recover the outcome you deserve. If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident or on the job, call or click today at 1-800-JUSTICE or visit justiceforyou.com.
Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go. After cows go missing in Florida, a hunter shoots a 13-foot alligator in the head. And all the cows inside. Meanwhile, Florida man who reached into the tiger enclosure. He is lucky that he's not dead. Daughter not happy the mom got a tattoo of a ruler so she can measure guys' junk. Parents file suit against fraternity that got their son way, way, way too drunk. And the name of snowplow contest winner in Minnesota goes to, as you said, Steve, Betty Whiteout. It's time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's my car.
Top story, we go to the lovely world of the internet where a woman found something interesting under her carpet.
What do you mean by that?
Her literal carpet.
I don't know if there's a euphemism.
She tore up her carpet there at home, and there you go. The woman had bought the house a couple months ago and shared in a video that there was a safe hidden under the carpet. She tried a couple times to get it open with no avail, and most locksmiths in the area said that they wouldn't mess with a floor safe, but persisted to ease her own curiosity as well as that of her viewers, and eventually found someone to open it. Sadly, all parties were disappointed to discover that the safe was empty.
I'm going to do that. If we ever move, dude, let's put a floor safe in. Make it look like it was hidden, forgot about, not a goddamn thing in there.
Right. Just fully empty.
Or just a note says not yours.
Got nothing but millions of viewers saying, we need to know what's inside. I need the closure. Well.
Ooh, sex toys.
Oh, there you go.
I mean, load that thing up with everything, to the point when they pop it open, they come spilling out. Just all right, I'm live streaming this.
That could be our time capsule. Just put a bunch of sex toys in there. 100 years from now, they're trying to figure out what all this stuff is. Another news thing with TikTok.
They'll know what it is.
Yeah, they will. Another video went viral of a woman revealing her new tattoo with her daughter in the room. The reveal features both of the ladies as the mother shows her new ink, several dots running down the length of her arm, starting at the pink and going all the way down to the elbow. The daughter was reasonably confused until she found out that the dots measured length in inches. The woman enjoys herself some loving and likes that she can now have an accurate measurement of each one that she encounters.
Okay, good for you.
All right. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
My question is,
let me slap my penis up there on the elbow.
Get starting at the right place.
You like what you like.
You do.
Yes.
And that's kind of her trophy. She says that I've been with a lot of dudes, and, a lot of them ask for my underwear. They ask for a selfie. They ask for something, just a keepsake, having had sex with her. Mm-hmm. She's like, this is mine. I get to know that, boom, you're 4. Boom, you're a 6. You're a 5.5.
You ever ask for someone's underwear because you enjoyed sex with them?
No.
Because I have not.
No.
Even if the greatest sex I've ever had, you want my underwear? But no.
Right.
No, I don't.
I kind of like it, though.
I want the thing that's in your underwear.
I want to take off my boxer briefs and, she takes off her panties and we, exchange them like a soccer game.
Swap jerseys.
Into the game.
Yeah, swapping jerseys.
Maybe just wait till after you've had sex.
But I think I'd rather have the bra.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll sign it, too.
Right? Just bring a silver Sharpie and scribble in on that thing?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, look, you got to go, but hey.
Right.
Yeah, I'm going to autograph these boxer briefs for you.
Right. Game recognizes game. Boom.
But then I'd have to start wearing not the best underwear if I'm going to have sex.
You got to
I'm wearing a pair of underwear today. It's only the third time I've worn them.
Yeah.
These aren't getting signed.
Nice.
You haven't been dressing up for the game, Ted. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Just time to put on the jersey. Yeah, man. To Florida, where a man on a cleaning crew may have lost his arm. The man was part of a group that was hired to do some cleaning work in the administrative areas of the local zoo. The story says that he broke outside of the scope of his duties and approached one of the tiger enclosures, sticking his arm through the bars. Brilliant idea. You can assume the rest. One of the animals inside attacked the man's arm to the point that he very well could have lost it. And as he was being treated for his injuries, crews say that he smelled of alcohol and even refused to talk to police about the incident.
Yeah, but he did.
No word on if doctors were able to save the arm.
They had to put the damn tiger down to get it off of his arm.
They did.
So they killed it.
They had to put it down?
They did. Yeah, they had to shoot it to get. He was still attached to his arm when they got there.
Right.
Well, so that's why they'll stick your arm in there.
Exactly.
Right.
So the deal is the guy's drunk. Yes, whatever happens to his arm, so what? The fact is they had to euthanize an animal because that dude, provoked it.
Is an idiot. Yeah.
Here's my
stick his
problem.
arm through there.
They didn't have to.
Yeah.
There's a reason why the tiger's in the cage. Now you understand why we separate tigers from the general public. I don't know what you were thinking.
Except for an Indian.
You stuck your arm in the cage, so it's like, man, if they should go up there, they're going to shoot the dude.
Yes.
I'm putting you out of your misery.
Exactly.
The tiger's acting like a tiger. You're an embarrassment to the human race.
Right.
So
Congratulations.
I had to make a decision. It's a no-brainer.
You've shown that you don't get to follow the rest of the rules of the rest of us. Okay, you're out. Later.
Bye.
In what's becoming a fun annual tradition, Minnesota's DOT now has a new name for one of their plows, thanks to the voting public. We covered this just a little while ago. Among the honorable mentions, the most that almost won the naming contest were Scoop Dog, Plowosaurus Rex, and Big Leplowski, and Control Salt Delete. Love that one. Which came in second. But ultimately, the name that won and will be featured on the side of a plow is in memory of one of the beloved fallen, as it will be called Betty Whiteout.
Now, keep in mind, the other names that are there will also be on plows.
This is just the one that won the actual naming competition.
The absolute right by more than twice as many votes. But the other ones, their names will be there.
Exactly.
Control Salt Delete's awesome.
Gotta be. And that is it for headlines with that. Mike Hawkins out.
Thank you, Mike. We appreciate it. And we'll see you up next. More Men's Room on the way with Men's Room Happy Hour and Dirty Big Dummy up next exclusively on the Odyssey app.
Yes, indeed. It is all true. But in the meantime, we be all about this bitch for 180 seconds. So until then, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.
The Men's Room has been taped before a live studio audience. Wardrobe and makeup provided by Mantastic Limited. This has been a presentation of the Men's Room Radio Network.
Oh, man!
A Double Flush production.
This podcast is brought to you by the Washington State Department of Health. When we think about the COVID-19 vaccine hesitancy in the Black community, let's remember, it didn't happen by chance. It's justified in history. But the will to change the narrative is strong today, and our people are lending their voices to the conversation. We're sharing our stories and the reasons that made us choose the vaccine so we can lead the way for others to make a well-informed choice too. To hear our stories, visit hereforuswa.org.